If there is one incredibly valuable lesson that all passengers, whether riding in an Uber or Lyft, might be told, it is that the drivers are independent contractors. We are not your servants. We have the right to refuse service to any passenger at any damn time. What up, folks? Once again, it is your boy Tim with another ride sharing video. Now, this one comes out of Los Angeles because it is my humble opinion that perhaps not taking the driver's ability to say no may have gotten the passengers stabbed up. Comes out of an article from Fox titled, "Uber driver in Los Angeles stabbed couple over vomit in car's back seat." Now, listening to the lawsuit from the passengers, talking about two passengers riding in the back of an Uber, happened on September 25th of last year. According to the passengers in their lawsuit, they were riding in an Uber when one of the passengers got nauseated, got sick, and vomited in the back seat. Obviously, any rideshare driver knows how angry you tend to get when somebody's vomiting in your back seat. We're going to explain why that is. Nevertheless, even with the driver getting angry, the passengers offered to compensate the driver and asked that the driver continue taking them to their location. At this point, according to the lawsuit, the driver was beginning to become irate and angry. I have had a personal experience with this shit, and I'm going to describe it to you, but you vomited in a driver's car, the driver is getting angry, and in this case, according to the lawsuit, the driver asked him to get the hell out of his vehicle. According to the lawsuit being alleged from the victims of the stabbing, they continued pleading with him to take them to their destination and told the driver you would be adequately compensated for the cleanup costs. It's a hell of a lot wrong with that. First of all, promising to adequately compensate a driver sounds a hell of a lot like "I'll tip you through the app." Any veteran driver in the comments, you can let us know, how often do passengers follow through when they suggest they're going to do anything for you financially after they've gotten out the car? Many passengers will tell the driver all the time, "I will tip you through the app." I believe it's around 80 to 90% of passengers that say that do not follow up. So in this case, you're talking about a cleanup fee, which easily could be a couple $100 or more to detail a car after somebody's vomited in it. So first of all, in regards to us drivers being independent contractors, this is our car, period. Uber and Lyft do not own the vehicles, do not have anything to do with the upkeep, wear and tear on a vehicle. So when the driver tells you to get the hell out of their car, Uber and Lyft has nothing to do with that conversation. Get out of the vehicle. In this case, the passengers continued pushing on, trying to stay in the vehicle. We all in ridesharing have tried to get passengers to get out of our vehicles, whether because we don't want to take them to a destination, we don't want to stop and wait on them for something, or whatever the case may be. And both Uber and Lyft have created a culture of entitled passengers that do not believe the driver has a right to say any damn thing against what their wishes are, as if we're somehow indentured servants and we have to simply do what the hell they ask. Doesn't work like that. The passengers in this case should have got the hell out of the car when they noticed the driver was angry after they vomited. But why would a driver get so upset if they're offering to adequately compensate them? A host of reasons. First of all, we can file a claim with both Uber or Lyft if somebody vomits in the vehicle. But no one has a guarantee that Uber or Lyft is going to charge the card of the person that vomited and follow through. There's no guarantee of that. Certainly the passengers saying they would compensate you, there's no guarantee they're going to actually give you anything when you get to their destination. They may tell you to file a claim with Uber and Lyft, and we'll make sure it comes out of our card. Uber, and I've had folks in my comment section even state this, Uber does not always actually grant the claims of drivers when they suggest somebody vomited in their vehicle. I had somebody state the other day that somebody that got in their car in my comment section, dropped soda all over the damn place, left a mess in the back of their car, and they tried to file a claim with Uber, and Uber denied the claim. Had another driver suggest that somebody vomited in his car like 3 different times in 2 months. 3 different passengers defecated in his car on 3 different cases. And Uber rejected a couple claims under the grounds that you're filing too many cases. So we don't have a guarantee they're going to pay out anyway. Second, let's say you vomit in the back of a rideshare vehicle, and Uber or Lyft does follow through and give the driver a couple $100 to clean it up. Well, that doesn't make you whole. That doesn't take away the hundreds of dollars you've lost. If I'm out doing trips, 11 o'clock at night, I'm going to do the club crowd. I've been out since 9 o'clock. Around 11 p.m., somebody gets out of the bar, gets in the back of my vehicle, they're sloppy drunk, they vomit. 11 o'clock. If you're doing the club crowd, you're going to probably be out till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe even later. So if you get someone in your vehicle that vomits at 11 o'clock, all of the income you would have earned from that period till 2 or 3 in the morning is lost. Could easily be hundreds of dollars, particularly in areas where there's heavy surge pricing. All of that's lost. Maybe you're involved in an earnings guarantee, a streak bonus, or some other type of substantial earnings extras that Uber and Lyft sometimes provide. You lost all of that. So even if they do cover the damages in terms of getting your car cleaned out, detailed, you still could lose hundreds of bucks. Not to mention, if somebody vomits in your vehicle on a Saturday night, Friday or Saturday night, the chances of you getting it detailed the next day are highly unlikely, particularly if that day is a Sunday. Most places are closed on that day. Many towns, the detailing shops are booked, whereas you may have to clean that shit out yourself just so you can get back to working. It is certainly a losing situation for drivers, regardless if Uber covers the cost of the vomit or not. You're still going to lose potentially hundreds of dollars of revenue that you could have earned when that vehicle's out of service. If Uber or Lyft wanted to truly compensate the driver, just like, let's say, for instance, you're riding in a rental car and you wreck a rental car, they don't just pay for the damage to the car. They cover the time the car was out of service when it could have been making money as well. All of that has to be covered. For us rideshare drivers, every moment your car is out of service, you're losing money. And no one's going to get in your car if it still smells like the last person that was in it. So they're not good. Those passengers, they weren't going to adequately compensate all that shit. They're not going to give the driver $800-900 that he may have earned, even $300-400. They're not going to compensate a detailing job plus maybe 2 or 3 days pay at what could be anywhere from $100 to $200 or $300 a day. They're not going to do that. There is no way in hell if somebody vomits in your vehicle, you are not going to lose money. And that is even if you can depend on Uber or Lyft to cover it. So totally can understand why a driver would get angry. Nevertheless, you can't stab up your passengers. And the way this story is alleged, I have a few questions with it. The notion that you vomited in a vehicle and the driver just got irate, pulled out a knife and started stabbing 2 people, in my opinion, doesn't measure up. I totally understand being angry, but literally trying to take the lives of 2 people because they vomited in your vehicle, maybe. Some crazy folks out here. Some of us are even behind the wheel, but I tend to think there's more to it than that. But in the plaintiff's lawsuit, they're just totally innocent. One guy vomits, they're apologizing, they're offering to compensate, and the driver just flips out and tries to kill them both. I don't see any story or any line in the story where the driver was charged with a major crime. So I'm kind of hesitant on how they presented it. But nevertheless, just for passengers that ride in rideshare, and understand, if you puke in somebody's shit, you cost that driver a lot of money, even if you cover what you did in their vehicle. And last but not least, if someone says get out of their vehicle, disengage, get the hell out the vehicle. All of these passengers that are trying to force their way into cars, demand drivers take them to locations, refuse to exit the vehicle, Uber and Lyft should do a hell of a lot more to let passengers know that is not tolerable. That can lead to what we're talking about here. Nevertheless, it's your boy Tim. I want to ask real quick before we go. Has you ever had, to my veteran drivers, have you ever had someone vomit in your vehicle? If so, did Uber or Lyft, first off, did they cover the cost of cleaning it up? Second, even though they covered the cost, if they did you lose any additional monies, such as what I just stated? Money you could have been earning while you're waiting to have your vehicle detailed. Now, if it happened and you weren't going to drive, that's a different story. But I'd be curious to know, because I don't believe paying a detailing fee comes anywhere near what is necessary to make that driver whole again. It's your boy Tim. Subscribe to the channel. Catch you in the next video.